What's going on, everybody? Kriddle here, back again with another Fortnite Save the World weapon review. Today we're going to be talking about the Razorblade. If you do not have one of these weapons, you can come over here to the item shop and get some upgrade llamas and test your luck. It will need to go gold, as this is a legendary weapon. Or you can come over here to the armory, go to collection book, come down here to range weapons, and click right over here to burst assault rifles. Click on research schematic and go ahead and research this weapon. It will cost 60 weapon designs, which you can get by recycling blue or higher tier weapons. It also requires 100 legendary flux, which you can get from the weekly store. But let's go ahead and see if we can look at this weapon real quick and see how we have it perked up, and then we'll take a look at how it functions. So this is mine. I have mine at 106 Shadow Shard. I believe this is a very underrated weapon. As you can see, mine is doing 97,000 DPS. I do have double damage on it. I have magazine size. Mine is nature, as this is the way I prefer to go with it. And then the slow and snared damage, because this one does slow and snare. I believe that slow and snared or damage to afflicted are the best, or sorry, affliction damage are the best possible 6 perks for most weapons. Every once in a while, there is a weapon that stands out to do the headshot or something along those lines, but for the most part, slow and snared or affliction are pretty much the way you want to go. But let's take a look at the possible other options here and see if there's any other way that you may want to build it. For magazine size, we'll start here. Most likely, no one is going to go with durability, as when you run out of durability on a weapon, just make a new one. Very rarely would anybody want to go durability. Weapon stability could be useful on some weapons. This weapon in particular can get a little bit unstable if you're not used to readjusting your aim as you're using it. But for the most part, weapon stability is another wasted perk. So you're probably going to go between either reload speed or magazine size. This is totally based on your preference. I'm choosing to go with magazine size to give me a little bit more rounds in my magazine to take out larger husks like smashers, but you could go with the reload speed if you constantly find yourself mashing that reload button, which many people do. They might, take out 1 or 2 husks and then mash that reload button. And if you're constantly doing that, the reload speed would definitely help you out. Again, these two come down to play style, so it's up to you which one you want to do. Like I said already, the element that you have on here also comes down to play style and what weapons you have available. If you already have a fire weapon and a water weapon, you might want to go with a nature, and so on and so forth. So again, those are up to you. I already went over this right here, which is a slow and snared, so 45% more damage. If you have an afflicted weapon, you want to go with the afflicted to target, 45 damage to afflicted targets. Or if you want to have something that just takes out mist monsters and bosses, you might want to go with 36% more damage to mist monsters and bosses. I still recommend, though, not doing this when you have a slow and snared, because obviously 45% more damage is greater than 36% more damage, and it works on everything. And this will work on the second shot and every shot after that when you shoot any enemy. So basically that leaves us only down to these last 2 perks. I went with damage and or double damage on here. The reason I did that is because of the crit chance on here is a base of 10 and a base of 50 crit damage. So normally when you have a base of 10% chance and a 50% crit damage on here, you do not want to go with a crit rating and crit damage build, because the damage overall is going to be lower than just going double damage. This is giving me 60% more damage. I believe if I were to change this to crit rating and put a crit damage here, I believe that I would end up getting about mid-50s% more damage on here. So the 60% overall does help out. So let's go ahead and jump into a mission, and we can take a look at how this thing performs. I will be going in with Urban Assault. Let's go right over here to my heroes and hero loadout. I will be playing with the Urban Assault, as this is one of the best characters to play when you're using most ranged weapons in the game. I do have Master Grenadier here, so we have 24% more assault rifle damage, and then just to fill out the last spot, we have double agent, which just gives me the cluster bombs, which we are not testing here, but her bonuses do help out with the range damage and everything else. So this is the standard that I run if I'm going to play a soldier. So let's go jump into a mission and test this weapon out. All right, so here we are all loaded into a mission. We've got our Razorblade equipped. So let's see how this thing fires. It is a 3-round burst weapon. So as you can see, it fires 3 shots, a little bit sporadic in how it fires them. They can be anywhere inside of that targeting reticle. So it's not extremely accurate, but it is fairly accurate for a 3-round burst. But if you had a single shot weapon like the Hunter Killer or the Dragon's Roar or something like those, they're a little bit more accurate. The damage drop off on this thing is about 2 tiles, so we're about 2 or 3 tiles away here, and then it starts to drop off when you get to about the 3 to 4 tile range. I believe around the 5 tile range to 10 tile range is where it becomes a lot less effective. As you can see, as we get a little bit closer, the damage does go up fairly quickly, and I would say about right here, you know, is where the damage drop off is at its greatest. So let's go take a look and see how this thing performs in some combat. All right, so here's a little group of a couple of monsters that we can try it out on. As you can see, one pull of the trigger will take out the smaller monsters. I can take out a taker fairly quickly. That one was coming at me before I started firing on it. And then again, one pull of the trigger almost took that guy out. So it's not too bad. I will note that when you are firing this weapon, it can get a little bit out of control if you're not constantly readjusting. That's about how quickly it does, you know, go up, and you will have to readjust back down. The reload speed on it isn't too bad. I think it's about 2 seconds, maybe a little bit under 2 seconds on this character. So it's really not that bad of a reload speed. And I did perk mine with the magazine size so I can get a few more shots in before having to reload. So that is also really great because this does burn through ammo very, very quickly. Here's a couple more monsters coming in. Let's see if we can take out this blaster and just see how this thing does. I mean, it just absolutely annihilated that blaster when you get some headshots in there. So let's go see if we can find a smasher and do the smasher test on this thing. Then we'll give a final verdict. All right, so we found ourselves a smasher over here. Let's see how we can do with this thing. Let's go ahead and let him run by and see if we can get a good bead on him here and see how this thing takes out one of the larger husk in the game. So it's doing pretty well. I mean, that was less than 1 clip. We took him out. We did have the magazine size on here, so that did help out a little bit for taking him out. Of course, the slow and snared also helps out in taking out smashers in this game. When the smasher charges at you, it does slow them down by 30%, so that they do not get to you in time to hit you before you can actually take them out. So there you go. That is the Razorblade. So let's go check out the final verdict of this weapon. All right, so there you have it. That is the Razorblade. My final verdict on this weapon is it is a very underrated assault rifle. It can take out the little husk very quickly with a single pull of the trigger. It can take out smashers if you go with the magazine size like you saw. Take out smashers in a single clip, which is very, very nice. I do have the slow and snared, so when they're running at you or charging at you, that does benefit or does help you out a little bit more there. The only drawbacks I can think of on this weapon would be the 3-round burst does burn through light ammo very, very quickly. With the fire rate that is on this, and then the constant readjusting every time you fire the weapon, but that you're going to get with most assault rifles anyway. So overall, I would definitely say this is a great weapon to buy for most people. But anyway, if you guys like this video, please let me know in the comments. And if you would like to try this weapon or any other weapon out in the game, feel free to come by my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/KriddleCraddle. I do stream this game quite often, a couple days a week. And you can ask me to make this weapon for you. Just give me the materials, jump into a game with me, and I'll make this weapon or any other weapon in the game for you. Really do appreciate you guys watching the video, and I will see you guys next time.